What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Zach Goy back at it again with another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why you should not try to manifest an X-Back without doing this one thing first. So before I dive into this video, I just want to clear the air that my channel right now is not really so much about manifesting and hermetic principles and things like that. In the past, I've done a lot of fitness content, I've done a lot of just random discussion-based things on a lot of etheric concepts, and I know that a lot of you that watch my channel are not really used to me talking about concepts in manifestation, law of attraction, stuff like that. Now, I'm going to be making a lot more content like this in the future, and that's just because I've been on this journey now for about 3+ years, and I've learned a lot of information, and I've put this stuff into practice. I've seen a lot of the benefits. And I think that especially on YouTube, there's a lot of people that talk about this kind of stuff, but I don't feel like they 100% grasp it. A lot of time when people talk about concepts in manifestation and law of attraction, they're really just coming at it from this one specific angle of you can have whatever you want and you just do these few little things to make it happen. On one hand, it really is that simple, but on another hand, there's just so much more out there. Like, there's a whole infinite capacity of what you as a being can do and what the function of the universe really is, and all these different things, right? And so I look at this and I'm like, man, people limit themselves so much on what's possible and what we can really make happen with our minds and our beings. And so I want to kind of add to that, and I want to add my philosophies, and this comes from a lot of different teachers that I have, including Joseph Rodriguez, who's on YouTube, an incredible teacher, Joseph Ally, who's also on YouTube, likewise incredible teacher. And all of these other, teachers throughout history, be it Yogananda, be it Neville Goddard, be it Napoleon Hill, all of these different mystics and teachers that have taught us that we can really leverage the power of mind to create anything, and that you really are God. You really have this magnificent power within you and of you that you are. And so I think that when we talk about these concepts, I think a lot of the time people have the propensity to kneecap themselves in, limiting what really is possible and what the full extent of your abilities are. And so I want to talk about my experiences. And to start things off, I know that the specific person community is such a big area, and everybody wants to know, how do I get my ex back? How do I get this person that I want to be my lover? Or, how do I create friendships with these magnificent people? Usually it's the love category. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about why you should not try to manifest an ex back unless you do this one thing first. And so just to give you guys some background, I have manifested 2 people back one time. So each of these people, I was in a relationship with them, we broke up, and then I used the concepts very specifically of manifestation to bring them back into my life. And so I've actually failed one time very deliberately. Using these concepts, I failed to manifest the person, but I actually ended up, manifesting that person again anyway. And then the same thing, I manifested a girl that I was in a relationship with. She broke up with me, but then I manifested her back into my life. And I won't talk too much about the details of those specific experiences right now. If you guys want a video like that, drop a comment and I'll talk about that. I'm an open book, so I'm not afraid to talk about any of my own experiences. But I say all this just to tell you guys that I have a significant amount of experience actually applying this in my own life. And so what I've noticed is a lot of people, and myself included when I tried to do this one of the times, was I, put all the classic strategies into play, right? Like, I created imaginal scenes, I was doing affirmations, I was doing hypnosises, I was doing all this stuff, but what I found was that it was still such a struggle. There was still so much resistance being put into play when I was trying to make these things happen. It was almost like I created a routine to do it so often to keep that energy, that fear energy, that doubt energy from materializing in other ways, in the form of, like, scared, needy texts, or, just constantly begging to hang out or something like that. And when I would take that energy and instead put it into the meditations, or instead put it into the, hypnosis or affirmations or whatever it was. But the thing is, that fear was still there, right? That fear was always there. And it manifested in the form of me not really believing when things were working for me. So Joseph Ally has a great video on manifesting a specific person where he talks about that when you create your imaginal scene, in my opinion, fundamentally when you make the decision that I want this person, right? I am with this person right now. This is my partner. When you make that decision, that's good. It's done. It's over. And everything in between, the point of absolute bliss and absolute, confirmation of your end result, right? Maybe that's you being married. Maybe that's you on month number 5 of being together again, and everything's just like going swimmingly. It's great, right? Everything that happens between now and that point is quite simply an event on the bridge of incidents leading up to that point. And all you have to do is remain faithful to that end. So maybe you make the decision, you're faithful to the end, and you're progressing on the journey toward that end result. But after you make that decision the next day, you end up getting a text from them, but it's an angry text, and they're, just like so pissed off at you about all these different things. That's part of the bridge of incidents. That is part of you leading up to this final end that you want to see. However, that event seems so contrary to that final, that final result, right? And so our mind is like, well, holy shit, wait a second. This is so far away from what it is that I wanted that I'm failing. Like, this stuff doesn't work. It's not real. Like, I'm still stuck in this situation. And now you're even more turned up in your own mind because you're like, I made this decision to make things better, but they're turning out worse. So you have even more doubt in yourself. You have even more doubt in the situation. The thing is, you have to navigate those events with the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So you have to navigate those fights. You have to navigate those poor interactions. You have to navigate the third parties, right? The other person that your ex starts hooking up with that you now know about and you see them on social media. You can't take these single events and let these events change your perception of what's happening. You can't really let the external world affect your internal world. And if you do, you're then changing paths. You're now manifesting something else because you are seeing the wish fulfilled of that feeling. So of that feeling of discomfort, of that feeling of fear, when you recognize that and you let that come into your internal world, you are now living as if the wish fulfilled in that direction is now. All your feelings are premonitions of the wish fulfilled, whatever it is. So the wish fulfilled for you might be that your ex and, some person that's like way better looking than you, way more talented than you, now are married. And when you fear and when you see that and when you basically latch on to what's happening in the outer world and let your mind create the final scene of that direction, that's what's going to come to pass if you continue to put your focus on it. And so the main thing, right, in order to keep yourself on the path of fulfillment, because what will happen is you'll have that argument, but there will be a roller coaster, and if you can keep yourself focusing on the wish fulfilled of what it is you want, right? If you can continue to put yourself in the vibration of me and Sally are in a wonderful relationship, happily married, it feels so good, right? If you can keep that in mind, even when these other things happen, the events will navigate themselves to where you want them to go. They always do. You should read a book called Reality Transurfing and realize that the path is like a web. You always can choose which direction you want, even if things are at the absolute worst. And this is another thing I want to add to you guys, for you guys to kind of absorb, right? Is that even when things are at their absolute worst, they can still change back to a better direction. Like there's no low that you can reach on the path that can't be changed towards something better. You can always readjust, but you have to remember that factor that it's literally just the feeling. It's literally just the focus. Focus on something better, and better things will start to happen. And navigate the events in the middle as though they're just part of the bridge of incidents leading you to where you want to go, because they are. So now you know about navigating the middle. And again, all it is just remaining faithful to the end, to whatever it is that your imaginal scene is, to whatever it is that you're desired end result is. Staying faithful to that feeling, not becoming reactionary to what happens in the middle, to all the events that are going to lead up to that. Stay faithful. The point of all of that was to kind of lead up to this point that I want to talk about, as far as that is the one thing that you need to do. And so here's a good technique that you can use to leverage that, right? What you need to do is go within yourself and recognize what that identity is of the end result version of you. Because fundamentally, all of these manifestations, all of these things that we want to create are normal things for the ideal version of ourself. So whatever it is, wealth, happiness, health, that's just normal for the ideal identity that you have for yourself. What I recommend you guys do is consider, who is this person in the final result of your manifestation? I think a lot of people, when they try to manifest an X-Pac especially, they're reaching out for this old relationship. And that old relationship is never coming back. It's either going to come back worse, or it's going to come back better, or it's not going to come back at all. And so you have to decide if you want it back, if you want that person specifically, right? Do you want a worse version of the relationship, or do you want a better version of the relationship that you had? Do you want the perfect version of the relationship that could possibly exist? I guarantee that that version of you in that relationship is different. And so what you need to focus on is going within, finding what those qualities are and manifesting those. If you want to be more balanced, if you want to be more enthusiastic, if you want to be more positive, you want to be more tranquil, go in and figure out, what do those things feel like? Manifest those things for yourself, right? Go within and create that ideal identity. And as you start to present that identity, it will push out into the outer world. And that relationship will come towards you. I'm not one of those people that's like that, this or better. I mean, if you want, a better version of the relationship that's not even with that person, if you're like holding on to that person because you're afraid, you don't know what other options are for you, that's one thing. And if you do this, that'll work itself out too, because you'll find out what your worth is. And you'll find out that you really can have anybody you want. And great people will walk into your life, and the opportunity to be in relationships with them will present itself. But if you are like in love with someone, or things didn't work out, or you know that you could be better for them, or you know that they could be better for you, right? Go within and change yourself. And don't worry about the universe forgetting your order. It's not about that. You are God. You are the creator of all that is in your reality. And if you don't forget, if you know deep down that that's the person that you want, that's the person you can have, that person will come to you, right? But become this magnificent, amazing version of yourself. Focus on manifesting that. And that other manifestation is not just going to disappear. It will only disappear if you want it to disappear. And I say that so that you don't need to hold on to it. You don't need to, tie it down somehow to make sure that it stays, because that's how you push it away, right? When you resist, when you hold on to things, when you're in a state of, clenched fists, things can't come, right? Nothing can come into my hand when it's clenched like this, right? Let go. Focus on yourself. Focus on manifesting those great qualities within. And as you start to let go, and as you start to become this more magnetic, magical version of yourself, things will get so much easier, right? Things are going to get so much easier for you anyway. You're going to be able to manifest faster, right? You're going to feel more deserving of the things that you want to manifest. You're going to become more in touch with unconditional love and realizing that everything can be easy, right? If you're going to get to the result no matter what, because you will get there no matter what. Do you want to get there in a state of struggle? Do you want to get there in a state of like, I'm clawing my way, I'm fighting for this person? What are you fighting for? You're fighting yourself. All of this is you pushed out. I am nothing more than a materialization of your subconscious mind, right? And so put yourself in this state of, I deserve it. I deserve everything that I want. I am somebody who magically things just come to me. Like, I'm a magnet for all of the abundance that I desire, and it will happen that way. And so focus on creating that mind, creating that heart, creating that being that you want to be, and things are going to get so much easier for you, right? It's going to become so effortless and in such a state of flow. And the biggest problem that I see is not people failing to manifest their person. The biggest problem is that they do manifest them, but they don't recognize their manifestations, and they're constantly in this state of resistance, this state of meddling with the external world when it's all inside you. So meddle inside, and everything else will just work itself out. I guarantee it. So, all that being said, you guys, it kind of turned out to be two things, but navigate the events with a state of ease, a state of flow, don't react to them, and then manifest great qualities within yourself, and that way you can focus on other things, not focusing on them, and then you become that identity, and the relationship just happens naturally. And so that's one thing that you should do before you try to manifest your ex back. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe, leave a comment, let me know you liked it. Like the video and hit the notification bell so you know when my videos come out. And until next time, you guys, have a great day. Talk to you soon.